guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bree, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about how I paid off my student loans in 2 years. Technically it was only a year and 9 months, so it's actually less than 2 years. So I'm going to be giving you guys my tips on what I did to help me to pay off my student loans completely. Like, I literally have $0 that I owe, and I'm only 25 years old. I actually technically did it when I was 24. And yeah, and I just want to like debunk a couple myths. You do not have to be rich. You do not have to be making like a lot of money, because I personally do not make a lot of money from my job. So yeah, so I don't make a lot of money, but you do not need to be rich or anything like that to be debt free. A regular person who makes an average salary, who works a regular 9 to 5, can do this. And I'm going to give you guys the tips that I did. And yeah, so the beginning of this video is going to be like everything that I did before I graduated that allowed me to not even owe a large amount anyway to begin with, because I only had to pay back $18,000. That may be a lot to some people, but that may be a little bit to some. So I'm going to talk to you in the beginning of the video. I'm going to talk to you guys about everything that I did before I graduated, and then I'm gonna put a timestamp on the screen so that if you just want to skip to the actual tips, then I'll put a timestamp on the screen so you can just skip to that video. But the beginning portion is going to be for people who are still in college right now, or if you are going into college. The first portion of this video is going to be for you, but if you're about to graduate, just skip to the timestamp on the screen, and you can just go straight into like my tips. So I'm just gonna hop right into the video because I hate long intros. So the first thing that I would suggest is, if you haven't, gone to college yet, definitely research going to a public university. And the way that you can know that a school is a public school is if it says the word state university in the college name. Usually state universities or public schools, or you could just type the college name in Google. If it says public, odds are it's going to be significantly cheaper than you going to a private school. I mean, if you like want to go to a private school, do you, but I'm just saying that if you're trying to save money and you do not want to be in debt for the rest of your life, you will save so much money, because a lot of private schools, like there were some private schools that I wanted to go to, and it was like $40,000 a year. Okay, so if you don't want to be in debt over 100K, then I would not go to a private school unless the job you're going to be getting, you're going to be making like hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. But a lot of jobs don't, pay that much when you first get out. So I would suggest anything that says state university, or you type the college name in Google and it says public, go to a public school, because you will save yourself a lot of money. Or another thing to save you money is to go to a community college, and community colleges are usually cheap, and you can tend to pay out of pocket for them. Some people pay out of pocket to go to a community college because it's not really as much. Classes tend to be like half the amount for one class than it would be to go to. Sorry, my camera died, so I have to switch to my camera. So if the quality changed, that's why. So yeah, so basically if you can go to a community college for like a year or two and then transfer to a public university, that's going to save you money, because at least the community college that's near me, like the average class is probably like $500 a class, versus if you go to like our state school, it's probably like $1,000 or more a class. So yeah, so if you can do that and you don't really care, then do that. But that could save you money as well if you're still in like high school and you're looking to go to college, or you just haven't gone to college and maybe you took a break after high school and you want to go. Like, that's something that you could definitely consider doing. And another thing that saved me a lot of money is I did not live on campus. I commuted. I went to a regular 4-year university and I commuted to school. So I, drove to school every day. I actually took the bus for the first 3 years, and then I got a car the last year. But yeah, so if you can commute to school, if you end up deciding to go to a college that's nearby, like I only lived probably like 15 minutes away from my college. So I literally there was no need for me to live on campus. And if I were to have lived on campus, I would have probably been spending an extra $10,000 a year. And that would have been like an extra $40,000 that I would have had to pay back So to me, it didn't make any sense. And I had people who also lived like where I lived and chose to live on campus. But I just don't think it's necessary for me. Like I still had a good college experience. I still had made friends and I still had a good time even though I didn't live on campus. A lot of people think that if you commute, you're not going to make friends or you're not going to have a good college experience, which isn't true at all. Like you can still make friends. You can still have a great college experience as long as you know, try to make friends like in class. Like you can still make friends in class. Like I met people in class. But another thing that helped me make friends is because I did track. So I was in a sport for 4 years. So obviously I made friends through that. So you can still make friends. But if you're one who like loves to party and all that stuff is super duper important to you, then I don't know. But me, I don't care about that kind of stuff. I was there for school and I just was focused, tunnel vision on graduating and getting a job. So like stuff like that doesn't matter to me. I just wanted to graduate and get a job. So yeah, so commuting will save you a lot of money. For me, again, like I said, it saves me $10,000 a year. So I saved a total of $40,000 just because I chose to commute. And I lived so close to the school that literally on my breaks, I could just go home, take a nap, I could eat, I could do whatever I wanted because I lived so close. But if the school that you want to go to is far away, like if you have to drive like a good amount away and it's not worth it to you to be driving back late, or you think it would affect your grades and stuff like that, then definitely live on campus. Living on campus makes sense for people who live far. But if you don't live far, then it doesn't make sense for you to live on campus. But if you want to spend that extra money, that's totally on you. But I'm just giving tips on how to save. So I did that. So yeah. So the next thing that I did that helped me save money in the long run is I applied for financial aid. So if you live in the US, there's this thing called FAFSA. It's basically a federal financial aid application that you fill out every year. And then it's called FAFSA, and then you get money. I don't know if it's from the state or whatever. And they award you amount of money to help you with school. So a lot of people think that that it's like, oh, you're not going to get a lot, don't do it. That's not the truth for everyone. If your parents make a lot of money, and you're like the only child or something like that, then you're probably not going to get a lot of money, but still do it because anything is better than nothing. You'll probably still get something. You're not going to get $0. Like you're probably still going to get a few $1,000s. But if you know, like for me, my mom, she's a single parent and she has, you know, a lot of kids who also were in college at the same time as me. Like there was a point in time where my mom had 4 kids in college at the same time and she's a single parent. So because of that, that also helped me get a good amount of money in financial aid. So if you have a single parent, that is going to work in your favor and stuff like that. Or if your parent isn't like, you know, rolling in the dough, you know what I mean? Stuff like that is going to benefit you and how much you're going to get in your FAFSA award application. So basically, the only people who don't get a lot are most of the time are people whose parents are doing well. So yeah. So and I think if you have kids, like if you have dependents, like that also you can also get a lot of, like a good amount from that too, I believe, but don't quote me on that. Another thing that helped me save money is that when I graduated college, I didn't, you know, get an apartment immediately. I still live at home with my mom because I'm trying to save for the next phase of my life. So if you do not have to move out, do not move out. Stay home and save because it's going to allow you to save so much more money and it's going to make you pay off your student loans so much faster. So if you do not have to move and there's nothing like super unsafe about where you're living or anything that could like be detrimental to your life, or there's nothing like that deep, or like maybe I can understand if like mentally it's draining or it's not an emotionally good place for you to be, or it's affecting your mental health or stuff like that, like yeah, move out. But if you feel safe, you feel like you're not going to be negatively affected by staying home, then stay home. But yeah, that's a way that saved me money. I do pay my mom money every month, but it's not the same amount that it would have been if I were to move out. If I moved out, I would be paying a lot more money, but my mom does not charge me obviously as much as it were to be if I had my own apartment. And also another thing that helped me save money was that I got an internship my senior year before my senior year. So that internship allowed me to secure the job that I have now because the internship that I had, it wasn't paid, but at the end of the day, because I, made a good impression and I, had a good relationship with my supervisor, she put in a good word, and then I was able to get the job that I have now. So sometimes when you get an internship, they'll come up to you like towards the end of your internship. If they know that you're a senior, they'll let you know like we have these positions available if you're interested. And 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to get the job because they already know you and your work ethic. So if you can get an internship, definitely get an internship. Try to look your junior year, like the summer before your junior year would be ideal, or the summer before your senior year. And if you start emailing them like in the summertime, because most people are not looking for internships in the summertime. You probably will be early. Do it like in June, because when I emailed them, they were like, wow, you're really early. And so they got me in quick. So definitely do that. And a tip for getting an internship is talk to your professors in your field, because they probably know the agencies around, and they probably have like a contact list, stuff like that. So talk to your professors, ask them, and that's how you can get into an internship. That's how I got into one. It was a requirement for my class that I needed, but they gave me a list of all the places, and so that's how I got a job, because I just used the email that they provided me with. And also another thing that obviously helps me save money is I don't have any kids. So I know that if you do have kids, this will be a little bit more difficult for you unless you make a lot of money in the job that you're going to get or have. But yeah, so that was one thing that benefited for me because I don't have any kids at the moment. And I'm also a very low maintenance person. I don't really spend a lot of money. I don't splurge a lot. I have good self-control when it comes to things. Like I don't need to spend like hundreds of dollars every time I get paid. Like I have very high self-control. So, what else? And I don't like make any unnecessary purchases. So I only buy what I need, and that definitely helped me to save money. So now into the tips on what I did to pay off my student loans in less than 2 years is once I got the job, I got a calculator and I said, okay, this is how much money I'm going to be making from a month. So I took down the number that I'm going to be making a month and I wrote that out. And then I just subtracted all of my monthly expenses from that total number. So for example, I subtracted my phone bill, I subtracted how much I'm expected to pay in gas a month, how much I'm expected to pay because of my car insurance, and everything that was a necessity. I just subtracted that from my total monthly amount. Then after that, I just said, okay, well, this is how much money I'm going to have left over. So the money I had left over, I said, realistically, how much do I want to save? And then realistically, how much do I want to use for my own personal leisure or whatever? And doing that will really allow you to see how much money is coming in and how much money you do have extra to put towards your student loans. And another thing that I did was I put 10% of my income towards my church. 10% of my income went to God. I put God first in my finances, and He never made me lack in anything because I put Him first over my finances, and I gave God His portion. And the Bible talks about that and everything like that. So I did that, and I put God first, and He truly blessed me. And now I am student loan debt free, and I'm really happy, and I give all the glory to God first and foremost. So another thing that you need to understand is that if you took out, I forget the name of the loan, I'll put it on the screen when I look it up, but they make you, that loan starts accumulating interest 6 months after you graduate. So having an internship or applying for a job before you even graduate is going to help you to just not have to worry about that 6-month period. So I got a job right away. So if you can get a job right away, that's just going to make it easier for you, because at least you have like a 6 months head start to start saving before you're going to have to pay back. So yeah, so you have 6 months after you graduate to start paying on your student loan before, you know, the loan company is going to be asking you to start paying it back. So once that, you know, 6-month period started to get close, like when I first graduated and I knew I was going to start having to pay the money back, you go on to their website and you fill in all your information, how much you make, your expenses and stuff like that, and then they tell you how much you owe a month. So how much they wanted me to pay a month was like I want to say in like $89 they wanted me to pay back, which wasn't a lot. But if you look at how much they want you to pay back and how much they estimate you would be able to pay your loan off by, it was supposed to take me 10 years if I listened to them. So I obviously paid way more than the amount they wanted me to, because it only took me less than 2 years and it was supposed to take me 10 years. So if you have extra money left over and your bills are paid and everything like that, definitely put more towards your student loans than they're asking you to, if you have the ability to, because you will literally cut, like I did, cut 8 years off of my student loans by paying more. And so another tip that I have for you guys is save up at least $1,000 in your savings account. So this was a tip that I got from my mom. She said, if you have $1,000 in your savings account, that is your emergency fund. Everything after that is extra money. Okay, so for example, I had $1,000 in my savings account, and I did not allow myself to technically save more than $1,000 because I said, okay, I could put more than that in my savings account, but that extra is going to my loans. So do that. Okay, just save that $1,000, because if anything were to happen, if something with your car were to happen, or anything were to happen, you have at least $1,000 that would guarantee that you would be able to, you know, pay for that emergency situation. But everything after that, literally attack your loans with that extra money. Okay, so that's what I did, and that's literally what allowed me to do it, because at the end of the day, like, my bills were paid. I still could, you know, go out to eat when I wanted to. I still could do like things that I enjoyed. Of course, there were certain things that I wanted to do. Like I obviously wanted to, you know, go on like fashionova.com and like add to cart and do all these things. Like there were things that I wanted to do, but I knew that the goal of being debt-free was more important to me than me having a bunch of cute clothes in my closet at all times. So I just like said, if I need something, I definitely went and got it. But if it wasn't a complete necessity, I did not purchase it. Yeah, I did, you know, treat myself from time to time with the nails, getting my nails done on occasion, but you can still enjoy your life, because I definitely still enjoyed my life, but I was just very strict on my budget. And another thing that you need to understand is that the longer it takes you to pay off your student loans, the more you will pay. So for example, I owed $18,000. So they told me that it would have taken me, if I paid $189 a month, it would take me 10 years to pay off that $18,000, right? However, that is a lie. When your loan is sitting there, it accumulates interest, I think, daily. So what that means is that number that you owe gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger the longer it sits there. So by the time that 10 years come, you paid way more than $18,000. So imagine that for you, if you have $40,000 that you need to pay back, and they're telling you, you know, it'll take you 20 years. No, it's not. It's going to take you way more than that, because you're only paying the minimum amount every month. And it's growing by the day. So if you have the ability to pay more on it, that interest is not going to affect you. It took me obviously less than 10 years. So my interest was not like attacking me and controlling my life. If you don't want your loans to control your life and stop you from doing the things that you want to do in life, like if you want to be young and have a house, if you want to be traveling and you want to do all those things and not have to worry about being negative, you know what I mean? And have those things like holding you down, like, oh my God, I have to pay this much. Like, you will never get rid of it if you listen to the amount that they're telling you to pay. So maybe you're not able to pay like a significant amount every month, but let's say you have to pay $200 a month. Maybe this month you have an extra $50 that you can put on it. Do it, because over time that will make a difference and you will pay way less than, it'll take you less time than what they're telling you to. And they don't want you to do that, but at the end of the day, do it. So I was probably putting like $500 or $600 a month towards my student loans. At first I wasn't doing it correctly because I had like a lot of money in my savings. And when I sat down with my mom, she was like, that is way too much. Like, you need to put that toward your student loans. She's like, because even though you say, oh, well, my savings looks good, my savings looks cute, that money in your savings technically isn't yours because you owe that on your loans. And it's only gonna hurt you to have that much money there. So now, like when I save, that money's mine now when I save, because I don't have to worry about a student loan. Yeah, it hurt to put all that money that I had, that thousands of dollars that I had in my savings towards my student loan, but it felt very free to see that $18,000 drop. It felt so good to see that. So I just, left only $1,000 there because that's all I really needed. So I know that a lot of people, depending on your life situation, if you have your own apartment, if you have kids, if you have people depending on you financially, some of these things are going to be hard for you to do. But if you were kind of like in a situation like me, and you can live at home, you don't have kids, you can do this. But if you do have kids and you do have things that are going to prohibit you from paying as much as you would like, then there are definitely some things that you can do. Like if you have $20 extra a month that you can put toward your student loans, definitely do that. And I think you should just definitely prioritize that $1,000 in your savings, and everything extra that you have once your bills and expenses are paid and stuff like that, anything extra that won't hurt you or your family for you to put towards your student loans, I definitely think you should do that. And that will definitely help you to pay off your student loans super fast. I feel like I'm rambling. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. I just have a few like things that I want to say after that. My mom always says this, but attack your debt like the plague that it is. And that's literally what I had in my mind like all the time when I was thinking about my student loans, is that it's a plague. It's trying to get you. It's trying to get your life. Don't let this student loan debt get your life. You need to get it. Don't let the system control you. Control the system. So attack it like it's coming after. Oh, I just almost dropped my pen. But attack it like it's coming after you. Okay? You gotta go get it. If you can't, put that money towards it. Okay? And again, a myth, you do not need to be rich to be financially free. You do not need to be rich to, you know what I mean, to be debt free. Like that is a reality for anybody. If you believe it, you can get it. If you think you can do it, you can do it. The only thing stopping you is your mindset and yourself. So you can do it with a normal job. It's possible. Just believe it and sit down, put out your expenses. If you feel like you spend so much money on clothes a month, girl, boy, whatever, calm down. You don't need that. Pay for what you need, and everything extra, go to your student loan debt. Save that $1,000 and the rest go to your student loan debt. But I know a lot of people can't do that, so just pick bits and pieces of what you feel like you can do. But yeah, so that's just my tip and what I went and did because my mom told me that and it really worked for me. So now obviously I'm able to save more than just $1,000 because I don't have any debt. So the thing about being in debt for life is definitely a lie. So a lot of people say, oh, you're going to be in debt for the rest of your life. If that's what they want to believe and that's what they want for their life, let them be in debt for the rest of their life. That does not have to be your reality. If you do not want that to be your reality, it does not have to be your reality. You can be in debt, have fun with that, but I'm not going to be in debt. You don't want that for your life, it doesn't have to be your reality, okay? Do not believe what people want to say because people don't want you to elevate over what they have, but you can break generational curses and you can be that person that is financially free. If you want to be a millionaire, be a millionaire. Like, do what you need to do. But yeah, get rid of your debt and don't listen to what people say, because it is a reality. And you do not need to be a millionaire to be debt free or anything like that. Oh, and another thing about that I wanted to talk that goes back, I think that they need to go to like these elite schools to get good jobs. I don't know if that's true, but from what I've seen is that you can go to a regular college and still get a good job, because a lot of the times your experience kind of speaks louder than some people's degrees. And also, like, your employer likes to see that you have the degree. So if you're looking for a job that needs a degree and you have that degree, that's what they're asking you for. Like when you like have to send in all your paperwork, like they just want proof that you attended college. Some employers want to see your transcripts, obviously, and your grades and stuff like that. But I don't really think that because you went to a public school, they're gonna judge you or compare you and be like, oh, she went to a private school. Like at the end of the day, like your personality, like and how you're in the interview, like they want people. You know what I mean? Like you can look good on paper, but if you have no sociable skills and you're not a good team player, you have an attitude, that isn't gonna secure your job. So if you have a good personality, and you have the degree, and some employers care about grades, like some people will literally look at your grades, but some people won't even look at your grades. So yeah, but that's what I kind of wanted to say, that like some people really think that where you go to school really matters. I'm sure for some places it does, and some jobs I'm sure it does. But for like regular jobs or whatever it is you're trying to do, majority of the time they just want to see your degree and proof that you went to school if it's needed for that job. So anyway, this video is already super duper long, and I hope that this made sense. I hope that this was helpful, and let me know in the comments below if you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.